Welcome to the Abyss Tarot, T.A.T. Tat. Today's pick a card is going to be, what has your inner child been trying to show you? So let's go ahead and take a look at the piles. Timestamps will be down below. Pile 1 is this Furby that flips his eyelashes. Pile 2 is this green Furby who opens his mouth and makes a squeaky sound. Pile 3 is this blue Furby. His little feet move. Okay. And pile 4 is this gray Furby and his eyes move around. Okay. So here we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. Go ahead and make a selection. Timestamps will be down below, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi, welcome to the Abyss Tarot, T.A.T. Tat. So for those of you who picked pile number 1, this black Furby here that moves his eyelashes, I always like to associate the piles with an element. So for this pile, I've associated with fire. So you could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or have that somewhere in your placement. So I've associated this Furby with fire because, I mean, just look at his face. Look at his eyes. He looks like he's so over it. He looks like he's not going to take it. He looks like he's about to burst and say something angry. So, but let's go ahead and have a look at your reading and see what your inner child is trying to show you. Okay? So you have 5, change. You have rest, 20, which breaks down to a 2. And you have number 2, big hair, making a statement. Okay. Okay, so there's some, I mean, with this first card, change, and it being number 5, you know, it's something that's been difficult, something that your inner child is telling you, yes, this is something difficult, but it is something that needs to change in order for you to have rest and feel better and feel more balanced, because I don't think you're having balance with these 2 twos with the big hair making a statement. It seems like you're just overdoing something, and you need some sort of break. You need to change that. You need to rest. You need a break, because it's like you're overdoing something, and you need to take a break, but not just to rest your body, to rest your heart too. You know, the heart chakra, this green card. So your heart needs to rest too. You need to give yourself some time for healing. You know, your heart needs to heal. It needs to rest. You need to give yourself a break about something, because maybe you're overdoing things so much. You're keeping yourself so busy that you're not really working out the issues that you need to be working out. You're kind of just like putting them on the back burner and ignoring them, because you're pushing them away, trying to just keep your focus on other things and keep yourself busy and keep yourself moving, and not actually dealing with the issues that are at hand. But let me get some cards for you. Let's see. So we're going to do the That's So 90s Tarot, and let's see what we have for you, okay? Since this is the inner child, just trying to use a lot of like playful decks, you know, that have that childlike energy, but that are still going to give you the message that you need to hear. Okay, so you have the Page of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, you see. Okay, so yeah, there is some childhood emotions that you're not dealing with, and it does look like it's feeling like you weren't loved as a child. It's feeling like you didn't have love. That's what I'm seeing. It's like the love was missing. Ooh, no cards want to come out. So yeah, this is something that you've put off and put into the back burner because the cards aren't coming out. So it's like difficult for you to maybe address these issues of feeling that lack of love. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, you definitely feel like you didn't have enough love, like you had just enough, but it wasn't like the Star, but it wasn't like how you would have wanted it. Like you would have wanted a little more attention, a little more gentleness, a little more care. And it's like you had love, but it was just enough to make you feel a little bit, but it wasn't how you would have liked it. It wasn't what you would have wanted. Okay, so we have 20, Judgment. Okay, so here's another 2. So you have 2, 2, 2. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles on the bottom. Okay. So I feel like you really hold on to people when they are in your life because it's almost like you want to show them how much you love them, and you might go overboard trying to prove yourself, trying to do things for them so they can see how much you care, because you really want to hold on to them, and you don't want to feel how you felt as a child, like it wasn't enough, like the love that you received back wasn't enough. So with this 4 of Pentacles here on the bottom, I mean, it shows like you really hold on. And then you have another 2, but it's the High Priestess. So yeah, so you really do feel like whatever people you have in your life, you got to really try to go overboard to show them love, to prove yourself to them. And that's probably why your inner child is trying to show you, like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to go overboard. You don't need to overextend yourself. You know, like, if you're loving with people, I mean, they're going to know that you love them and care about them because you're showing them love. But it's like you feel like you don't want to disappoint them or make them feel like it's like the love you're giving isn't enough, because that's how you felt as a child. You felt like the love you received wasn't enough. So it's like you try not to do that with people. You try to not let them feel like it's just barely enough love that you give, you know? But let's get some more cards. So let's do the That's So 80s Tarot. Charlie Brown. Three of Swords on the bottom with 16 candles. Oh, I love that movie. Okay, so we're gonna just get the first card, which is the Queen of Swords. That lady from the Goonies, you remember? That mean lady, the mom of the robbers or whatever. Yeah. You don't, it's like you don't want to come across as this. You don't want to come across as this like mean lady, you know, from the Goonies. You really do, again, overextend yourself maybe with your kindness to not get judgment, you know, to not get judged by people, to be like, wow, you're not, you know, you're a very cold person, you know. Let's see what else. Okay, so we have the King of Swords in the reverse. Look at that. And with the Five of Wands, Rocky 4. Oh my goodness, look at that. Let me take one more, please. Okay. So we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So with this Queen of Swords and this King of Swords in the reverse, you know, this could be talking about the issues of like your parents. Maybe you had a mother who was kind of cold towards you, again, who did give you love, but it was just barely like the minimum. And a father who was also very like not there, not too present, but when he was, his words were very cutting, you know. It was very, he just came across very very negative, very judgmental, and it is next to the Judgment card, very judgmental. So again, you felt like it just, you know, like maybe you weren't good enough or something like that, because you weren't getting the love that you felt. You have the Five of Wands with Rocky 4 here, so it's, you know, it's like all these fights. But, you know, I mean, the battle also could be talking about the battle within yourself, you know. Okay, so it's like the war within yourself because of this, you know. The Nine of Wands in the reverse, it's like you just wanting to give up. You just wanting to give up and not want this anymore, you know. It's I'm getting kind of like a feeling of unworthiness, you know, like almost not good enough to do things, not good enough to succeed, you know. Let me see. Let me get some other cards. Oh, that one popped out right away. Number 1, money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Yeah, it's like not feeling worthy. Not feeling worthy to succeed, you know. Like with this Queen of Swords here, and you see the treasure of gold behind her. And then with this money path, how I was talking about feeling that unworthiness, it's because like feeling that lack of love, that it's you feel like maybe you don't deserve good things, you don't deserve the pot of gold, you don't deserve the treasure, you don't deserve the money. It's that kind of feeling of, you know, just unworthiness. Okay, we have broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. We have wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend for something you want. And we have quill. Get back to the basics. Yeah. Yeah, with broken bridge and the money path, it's just, you know, this is what I'm saying. You just feel that lack of love. And even though you might be very loving and show other people that you're very loving, but it's done in a way that's like you're trying to prove yourself to them by showing how loving you are, so that they can look at you and be like, wow, what a great loving person. But you already are that. You don't need to seek that approval, but it's like you feel like you need it because that's where your worthiness is, from how you see it, from how you feel about it. You think that's where my worthiness is, when people tell me that I'm, you know, worthy and that I'm good and that I'm loving and things like that, you know. Okay, so we have pig, beware of greed. Okay, and we have whale, family wishes come true. So yeah, again, beware of greed and family wishes come true. You know, it might be that, again, feeling like you probably have to go all out and go all overboard, maybe to please people, maybe to please your family, to show them that, oh wow, like you can do something with your life and be a success, and then have that worthiness and that praise that you never got. Okay, we have scissors, disappointment in some affair. So this is being disappointed, and still the fact that you feel like you're a disappointment. Whale, great worry over nothing. You see, you don't need to worry about those things, or what people are thinking of you, or having to go overboard to please them, because you don't need to do that, because you are you are a good person, you are a loving person, and the thing is, you don't have to go out of your way to where you're not getting any rest because you're doing so much. And again, your inner child is trying to show you, you need to change that. You need to change that because you are worthy. Why? Because you know you are, and you feel it, and you don't have to try to prove it to your family or anyone else, you know, on, you know, how much you care or how much love you give. Okay, let's see. Let me get one of these. No, you know what? Let me get a Willy Wonka card. Okay, so we have the 5 of Cups. Yeah, this is you just feeling that loss, feeling that unhappiness, feeling like it's just not enough, you know. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. Yeah, you wanting to, you know, please your family and feeling like they're not noticing you, like you're just not receiving enough love. Okay, so we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like I don't see them like telling you they're proud of you, that you've done good for yourself, and that's the problem that you have, where it's, you know, basically deception but within yourself, and the battle within yourself to be like, I'm okay not having their approval, you know. But it's like you struggle because you look for the approval to them and towards others and your family or your parents, and that's where you're trying to look for the approval when you don't need to look for it with them or anywhere else. It's within you, you know. You should feel good of whatever progress that you make. Okay, so we have the 2 of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Page of Wands on the bottom. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's like you feeling like if you don't succeed or make enough money, it's just not going to be good enough for them. Like they're just not going to love you or appreciate you. And it's like you have that mentality of like, I got to show them, I got to prove to them, I got to make money, I got to work hard, I got to do all these things to go out of my way to prove that I'm worthy of love. And you don't have to do that. And that's what your inner child is trying to show you. You don't have to do those things. Let me get a message here for you. Oh my goodness, there it goes. Okay, so you got the koala, number 103, breaks down to a 4. You adore children and spending time with them. It makes you feel young again. Again, speaking of the inner child, you know, so there is, you know, maybe you do enjoy spending time with children, but you need to spend time with that inner child. You know, what is it that is going to make the inner child happy? What is it that's going to, like, make you feel good? You know, what's going to please the inner child within you to feel like, okay, you know, I feel good, we got this. Like, what is it? What is it that you need to do? And maybe spending time with children is another way you help heal the inner child, you know, because maybe you show children love, maybe you show them kindness and all these things that weren't given to you. So by spending time with children is probably how you're also healing the inner child within you. It's also how you're helping that inner child within you. Purge to create room for new energy. Yeah, you have to purge all those you know, things that were installed in you as a child that don't serve you, that don't really go with you. You are always protected. And 26, I'm afraid of change. So see, yeah, you're afraid to make these changes, and that's why you keep putting this like this inner child work in the back burner. Things are scary for you right now, but please have faith on the bottom. So yeah, it's kind of a struggle for you to, you know, to try to work these issues out, because again, it's like you're so focused on the you right now of who you are, of trying to maybe work to, you know, be successful and do whatever it is you can to please your family or to please your parents. And you know, instead of saying, you know, I have to do what's best for me, I have to please me, and it doesn't matter if I, you know, if I get their approval or not, because it's, you know, this battle here is within you, within yourself, and your inner child's like telling you, you don't have to do that. You know, you can just change that. You can stop having the war within yourself and make these changes. So let me get one of these Therapet cards for you. I bought these for my grandson, but they're really good also to do like inner child work and get a message. So let's get a message for you. Cards are huge. Okay, so you got number 7. You're not going to succeed at everything you try, and that's okay. You see, that's exactly it. You don't have to go overboard to try to prove yourself and to, you know, to be what you would think would be worthy of their love, or, you know, of their approval. Like, it's okay. You do what feels best for you, you know? And again, you're not going to succeed at everything, but it's okay. Like, that's okay. You have to accept yourself and be like, I'm okay with who I am and how I am, and I don't have to work so hard to try to get your love, because it shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't, you know, have to be in this battle to receive your love, to receive, you know, some type of crumbs from you. Is that it? Is that it? Anything else? Let me see this one. Okay, more message for you. You have the Fool in the reverse. You have Mr. T. Look, I pity the fool. Remember Mr. T? If you're not old like me, then you're not going to know who Mr. T is. But yeah, Mr. T always said, I pity the fool. Okay, so we have the Knight of Blades. Okay, the Knight of Swords. Here we have one of the Ghostbusters. Let's see what else we have for you. We have the 7 of Coins, Care Bears on the bottom. I mean, in the reverse. And then we have the Lovers. Okay. So they're in the photo booth. Yeah, I'm just still seeing that you've like done so much and it still doesn't get appreciated, you know? And yeah, it just seems like you're feeling over it. And the inner child is telling you, like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to, you know, keep doing all these things, going out of your way to try to prove yourself. Give yourself rest, give yourself time, give yourself love, understanding, and healing to appreciate you and love you. And don't worry if they're appreciating or loving you, because they are who they are how they are. And you know, you can't keep trying to do everything to win their love, because it shouldn't be that way. Yeah, I keep hearing it's time, it's time. So yeah, it's time for you. Basically start caring for you and not give up on yourself. Not give up on yourself, because it seems like there's times when you want to, where you feel down, because again, you try so hard and you feel like, why is my best not good enough? It's okay though. You're not going to succeed at everything, and that is okay. Yeah. Yeah, there is a war inside yourself. But again, you need to give yourself love and kindness. Be gentle with yourself and not be upset with yourself when you feel like they don't take notice of you, and then you feel defeated. You feel like, why bother? You feel angry with yourself because you feel unworthy. Like, you feel like, I'm obviously not good enough. I'm obviously not doing my best. I'm obviously not trying hard enough. So then that's how you start judging yourself and feeling about yourself and feeling angry with yourself, because you feel like you're doing something wrong, or you're doing something that's not enough to please people, you know? But again, that your inner child is trying to show you that that's not the way, that's not how it has to be. You being you and being the best you, then that's it. And if they're gonna love you, they're gonna love you, but you don't have to overextend yourself the way you do, to where you're just constantly trying to prove yourself, you know, so that you won't be looked at as you're not the one even trying, when obviously you try very, very hard. Well, that's all I have for you. I hope this message resonates, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for those of you who chose pile number 2, this little Furby here that makes the little squeaky sound and moves his beak, I always like to associate the piles with an element. So for this one, I've associated it with earth elements. So you could be a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. And look how he looks. He looks like he's sitting there and he's ready to learn, and he's ready to, you know, get the information. And he just looks like he's happy and ready to learn his lesson from whatever the teacher's going to say. Look at that. But let's get into your message and see what your inner child has been trying to show you. So we have 32, music, breaks down to a 5. We have 27, breaks down to a 9, with faith, okay? And we have 31, breaks down to a 4, arcade game, all consuming. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so with the music card here, it is very earth energy, because, you know, that's how people that are earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, they communicate through music. They express themselves through music, like things they can't say and come out, you know, with and express. They express it maybe by playing a song for you, or sending you, you know, the lyrics to a song if they're feeling a certain way, but they can't say it. So this music card here is talking about you needing to, you know, express yourself, and even if it's just through music. 23 breaks down to a 5. Fives are about changes and challenges. So there's a lot of challenges that you have within expressing yourself. You know, arcade game, video games, again, another earth thing, all consuming, you know. So whatever it is that is inside that you can't get out with this arcade game, all consuming, it's telling me that it's eating you. It's eating you up inside. And now you have the faith card here, you know, with the number 27 breaks down to a 9, which is the number of completion. So you need to basically just this faith card here is basically saying, like, you need to have the faith to express yourself, to basically come out with it, whatever it is that you've been holding back or holding in, because maybe you felt you couldn't speak up as a child. You need to speak up for these things now as an adult, you know. So this inner child is trying to show you, you need to have faith in yourself and speak up for yourself. You know, don't let it eat at you. With this all-consuming arcade game, you know, it's like these feelings eat at you. Okay, so I'm also getting from that, I'm also getting overeating. The feelings are eating at you. So you might also do something to eat your feelings. You might overeat. You know, you might be somebody that overeats because you eat those feelings and those emotions. And your inner child is trying to tell you that you need to release them. You need to be out with them. You need to have some type of faith in communicating them, and like saying, I'm gonna tell you and I'm gonna let it out, and you just need to go ahead and do it. Also with this music card, you know, again, be mindful of the music you listen to, because, you know, again, your emotions, you know, sometimes do get lowered. You know, you might start to hear sad music and you might start to feel like depressed, or even if you're already feeling a little depressed, you're hearing sad music and it's going to make you feel more depressed, you know. So you're also being told to be mindful of the music you listen to. Try to listen to something that's like gonna make you feel happy, you know, something that is gonna make you feel good, something where you're gonna vibe to it really well, you know, and feel that rhythm and just feel good, instead of feeling down and then feeling like the emotions are eating at you and you're holding them in, you know. But let's start your reading. Let's see. Let's start with the 80s. I'm from the 80s, so we're going to do the 80s tarot. Let's see. Let's get some messages for you. Okay, these two cards wanted to jump out right away. We have the Queen of Coins and the Nine of Cups. Okay, so I'm getting Four of Cups, Bob Ross on the bottom, okay? So I'm kind of getting that maybe as a child you had to be very, very like put together. It's like you had to look very picture perfect, like you couldn't really be messy or look like you were messy, or, you know, something like that. And I feel like that was very hard for you to kind of play that part all the time. So that's something that you're probably still struggling with, and I think that's probably why your inner child's bringing it up, because you're probably just struggling at times to just be you, you know. But let's see what else we get. You know, with Bob Ross on the bottom, it just reminded me, didn't he used to say something about that, like happy messes, or something about like making a happy mess, or a mess, I don't know, something about messes, right? Like it's okay, like for it to be, you know, a mess. So I'm kind of getting that, like you weren't allowed to make a mess, or something like that, like you couldn't look a mess. please. What do we have here? We have the Queen of Blades. Okay. We have the Empress in the reverse on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, so we have two queens here, one right underneath the other, Queen of Coins, and then with the Queen of Blades right underneath her. So yeah, I am getting, you know, maybe you had a parent, maybe your mother, who's very, you know, very strict, you know. She was probably very strict with you on what you did, the activities you did, the friends you had, what you ate, who, like, how you dress, who you were around, and it was very hard for you. So it's almost like you had to just be that, like, picture perfect. Okay, so we have the Six of Coins in the reverse. Yeah. And then with the Nine of Blades, like Gizmo from Gremlins. Okay. So let's see. And then with the Five of Coins, look at that. And it's at the computer. So yeah, I see that you got stressed out a lot. Like, you got stressed out a lot as a kid, and it wasn't really like, I don't even see you as having like too much fun, you know, like getting out too much to play with friends and stuff. Like, you didn't really do that. Because again, it was very strict, very, it has to be this way. No, you can't go out with your friends. No, this, and it was very strict, you know, the way things had to be. So because you grew up feeling like that, it's still a struggle for you, you know, with this Nine of Blades here. It's still a struggle for you to pretty much like express yourself or talk to people or be around even like groups of people. You don't feel comfortable, you know, because again, it's always about not really being you around people. It's always whatever you're portraying to be. And so when you're alone, when you're on your own by yourself, it's more like the mask comes down. You can relax, take a deep breath, and eat everything you want, feel however you want. But again, when you're around others, it's like a mask that comes back up, and you got to be a certain way, act a certain way, look a certain way. And your inner child's telling you, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that way anymore. Let's see what else. Let's get some 90s tarot. So let's see what we have here for you. So we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse with Harry Potter. Okay. Seven of Wands in the reverse on the bottom. Okay, what do we have here? Six of Pentacles with Hey Arnold. So we got the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I just got that you didn't really get to have fun. You didn't really get to do too much like kid stuff, you know. It was just more, it could have been more like studies, learning. Again, earth element, you know, the student, always learning. So it could have been like, it was more, your childhood was more about that, you know, like just being, just, you know, going to school, coming home, that type of thing, not really being able to hang out or get out. So you didn't really have the balance of having both, you know. It was just kind of like one thing, and that's how it had to be. Okay, let me see what this one is. The Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay. And the Six of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Hierophant. Okay, number 5, the Hierophant. On the bottom, we have the 5 of Wands with, I was gonna say, what is this? Is this a movie? No, this is Mike Tyson and Holyfield. Okay, so yeah, I see that when you think back on your childhood, it wasn't like the memories of like having fun. It was more a very structured, very, you know, like with the Hierophant here, you know, it's just very structured, very like maybe, you know, you're going to go to school and then we're going to go to church and then back home, and that kind of routine, that kind of structure to where it's very stern, very, yeah, very, like very controlled. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, maybe it was more like, and if you did get to play with other kids or have fun, it had to be like kids from your church, or you know, some, I'm getting something like that, like kids from your own, um, maybe your religion or something like that. I mean, like, I remember when I was, like, in middle school, I had a best friend who was a Jehovah's Witness. Nothing against Jehovah's Witnesses, but her mom wouldn't let her play with anybody that wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. But me and her really liked to hang out. You know, we were best friends in middle school. And so her mom found out that she was hanging out with me and that I wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. Her mom contacted me and just tried to get me to convert to be a Jehovah's Witness so that I could hang out with her daughter. Like, her mom really, really tried really hard, because she said, you know, my daughter really likes you and likes hanging out with you and stuff, but you're not a Jehovah's Witness, so you can't hang out with her if you don't convert to being a Jehovah's Witness too, you know? So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of like seeing that, like maybe your family structure was something similar to that, you know, where it was only like the kids from your church that you got to hang out with and play with, or something like that. But it was very structured. Like, you didn't get to just have fun and go out with your friends or get to play games and stuff like that, you know? I'm seeing something like that. Okay. So you have Rose. Romance is in the air. Okay. So you might even have a hard time expressing love to the person you might, you know, be in relationships with. When you get into a relationship, you might have a hard time expressing yourself. Okay, you have number 1, and work, achievement, and success. See, you're probably just all about that. And anything else that's like not work, not achievement, not success, anything that's like fun and exciting and adventurous, you kind of don't really know how to go about that, you know? Turkey, someone is behaving stupidly. Look at that. And I was just about to say, like, your inner child is like saying you got to cut loose. You know, there's times when you got to cut loose. And with this turkey coming out saying someone is behaving stupidly, it's almost like you feel like if you cut loose, it's going to be stupid. Oh my goodness, I can't get it. Let me see. Oh. Okay, so you have target, a goal-oriented person. See, here you go again. You know, and of course, there's nothing wrong with having goals, you know, being a goal-oriented person. But again, you didn't have that balance as a child. So, you know, your inner child's like, give me some fun. Like, let's go. And if we're going to behave stupid, it's okay. Like, it's okay once in a while to have fun. Like, you don't have to, like, stress over it if you end up having fun, if you end up looking silly, if you end up messing up your hair, not having, you know, the perfect hair. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Those things are okay. Don't stress, you know, about, like, cutting loose. Broken ring. Parting of the ways, either in romance or business. Look, see? Exactly. Like, it's probably been something that has affected you, because, you know, parting ways either in romance or business, even if it's been in romance, you know, you've probably been so like into your work, where the person was probably like, well, what about me? Like, are you gonna put any work into us? Are you gonna put any work into this? And that's probably why maybe relationships have ended for you. Maybe they felt like you weren't putting enough work into them, but just into your focus on your work. See, we have wealth here. Look at that. Wealth. All that money, all that gold, you know? And that's where your focus has been. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, this inner child is telling you to have some type of balance. Needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. Look at that. A sincere wish. And again, this is, you know, with the needle and thread is mending, fixing things. So there's that part of you that you need to fix, that you need to show, you know, love and compassion to, by having some fun with yourself, having some fun. Chair filled. Someone new is entering your life. Look at that. Someone new is entering your life. And maybe this inner child is saying, you know, so that things don't get messed up, because your focus is always on, you know, on the goals and all this other stuff. You know, once this person comes in, give them some attention too, you know, have some fun with them, play some video games with them, do something, you know, to where you're just not ignoring them, because the focus is so much on, I have to do this, I have to work hard, I have to get this money, and I have to do everything right, because you don't need to be that way all the time. Basket. Recognition, reward for merit. Look at that. Recognition. You're just getting a lot of you know, you're definitely achieving a lot of things, getting a lot of things taken care of, getting a lot of things done in life. But again, we have this inner child that's saying, you know, you never had fun. You've always been restricted. You've never expressed yourself. You've never been like the real you know, around other people. Ooh. Parrot. Someone will gossip all your secrets. And hat. You will be playing a different role. And we have success. Look at that. So, yes. So here we have people, you know, talking all your secrets. But again, that's okay. Like, what are they going to say? What are they going to say? You've just been working on your goals. I mean, you know, what kind of things can they say about you? And the fact that you will be playing different roles, this is wearing different hats. I mean, that's something they could look at and talk about. If they want to talk, they can talk about that. Like how you've changed, how you're playing all these different roles, wearing all these different hats, instead of just the hat of the go-getter, just the hat of the person focused on their success and their money. You're now wearing the hat of, you know, this loving partner, of maybe this loving parent. You become a parent. You're maybe wearing the hat of different people, of not just one particular person doing one particular thing. You're now wearing the many hats of all these things that are going to give you success, you know. So let's see. Let me get a therapist card for you. These I got from my grandson, but I think they're really good for doing inner child work. So let's get a message for you. We have number 5, no beating yourself up anymore. If it doesn't help, you don't deserve it. It doesn't help and you don't deserve it. So don't beat yourself up over things like that you can't succeed at, you know. And with the number 5 reminding me of the Hierophant, you know, number 5. So the, you know, the Hierophant, like doing everything and getting it right and doing it in the way it's supposed to be and traditionally and in order and in this way. It's like, don't beat yourself up. You know, you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to get things like that, you know? Like, you can still succeed and have all your goals, but it doesn't mean to just like do them that one way and in that one structure to fit in that one box. You know, there's a lot of things you could do. It's okay to struggle. You are doing better than you feel like you are. Okay, so yeah, don't feel like if you don't meet these goals, you're not successful, or you didn't do things right, because you are, you know, again, you are, you're doing everything, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, it has to be done the right way or it has to be done this way. As long as you get it done right, you know, like, you don't need the order or whatever. But I do see your inner child telling you to express yourself, to have more fun, to have more faith, to be more outgoing, you know, to listen to that music that's going to inspire you to feel better, to express yourself, to not hold your emotions in. It's like, if you want to belt out a song and sing at home, go ahead. Like, don't hold it in. Don't be too shy. Don't be too proper. You know, it's just like it. I mean, if it makes you happy to, you know, to do something, to dance around the room, to do something like that, then your inner child wants you to do it. Let me see, anything else? Pull one of these well-being cards for you. These are also for kids, but they're also really good, you know, for the inner child work. I'm gonna get one from right here. Ooh. Okay, I am passionate. Number 6, I allow my feelings to guide me. Look at that. Look at that. Sacral chakra, feeling that passion. Look, music. That's what I was just about to talk about again. Orange, okay? Music. Okay, so feeling that passion, to allow your feelings to guide you. Again, you know, don't hold your feelings in. Don't eat your feelings. If there's something you want to do, if you feel something, you know, passionate about, then go ahead, do it. If you want to have fun, do it. If you want to sing, do it. Do what it is that's going to make you happy, what's going to make you feel good. And actually, let me get one of these Simpson Pogs for you. These are Simpsons Pogs that I bought, and then I wrote like a little question message on the back. So let's see what you get. Okay, you have Sideshow Bob, number 8. Okay, it says Master Thespian and Prisoner number 24601. Okay, see? He's a master thespian. You see how he's Sideshow Bob? He's supposed to be a clown, but he's like so smart and intelligent and a mastermind and all this stuff. So this is kind of like you know, like you need to kind of, okay, so it says frustrated. What is the cause of your frustration? I think, you know, for you, the cause of your frustration might be that you're not opening yourself up to be really who you want to be at times, which could be silly, which, you know, could be to play games, which could be to go outside and, you know, play basketball, do something, and you're just not doing it. You're just being too serious, you know, and maybe you're feeling like it wouldn't be right to be, you know, to be having fun, you know. So, but let's see. Well, that's all I have for you. I hope this message resonates, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. So for those of you who chose pile number 3, this little light blue Furby here, what does he do? I forgot. Oh, he moves his feet. He moves his feet like he's running, like he runs off. And I always like to associate the piles with an element. So for this one, I've associated it with water element. So you could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And look at the reason I've associated him with water. I mean, he looks so worried. He just has that worried look on his face. He looks like he's going to have some type of a emotional breakdown. Like he's about to start crying. He's holding those feelings in, you know, kind of like the water sign. Very sensitive. This one looks like he's very sensitive. So let's get into your message and see what is your inner child trying to tell you. What are they trying to show you? Number 2, patience. Okay. 31 breaks down to a 4, comfort. Okay. And number 6, fashion icon, standing out. Look at that, fashion icon. So look, we have with comfort and fashion icon, look at the pink, so much pink in these two. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, you could be somebody, you know, with this standing out here. You could be somebody that stands out. I'm getting like you could be somebody that has tattoos, or you dye your hair like a bright color or something like that. You know, something like that about you that stands out. Also, I also get that you're very creative. You're a very creative person. You know, you could be like an artist, or you could like maybe designing with the fashion icon. Maybe you could like designing, or you know, you could like doing makeup, hair, something like that. You know, you're just somebody very creative. You express yourself through your creativity, the things that you do, the things you feel passionate about. Yeah, I see that you're somebody very sensitive. So maybe as a child you were, you know, a sensitive child, and maybe you had difficulty with that because you were sensitive, you know. You were sensitive to like people hurting your feelings, and you know, maybe somebody made a comment, would make comments that were maybe rude, but they maybe didn't mean them in a like harsh way, but you would take them that kind of way. You would be very hurt, you know, over like the way people spoke to you and the things that they said. But let's get into your reading, okay? Okay, so let's do the That's So 90s Tarot. Oh, I think I need some water. My throat chakra is starting to act up now with your pile. So maybe you are like you were a child that held your feelings in a lot, and you probably still do that, you know. Okay, so we have the 5 of Cups with Eeyore. And you know, Eeyore is always depressed, so you could have been and probably still a person that, you know, goes through depression. So maybe it was hard for you to like talk about your depression. And then also being somebody very sensitive, being a sensitive child, again, if somebody made some type of comment to you, it probably made you feel low. It probably made you feel negative about yourself, and you probably did go into depression for time. Like maybe there was periods of time when you'd be like depressed, you know, because of whatever people were commenting to you or saying to you, you know. But let's keep going. 4 of Cups. Look, we have Helga here from Hey Arnold. And we know Helga, she's very, You know, she could be very cold, very mean at times to people, but you see she's obsessed with Arnold, and she kind of gives me like those Scorpio vibes, you know, very deep, very intense, very passionate. So she gives me Scorpio vibes. So maybe you know, you had that where, you know, like, I mean, Scorpio will have all these deep feelings and emotions within them, but they hide them. They're not going to like put them out there to everybody. So they might get depressed, or, you know, you might get depressed if you're like that. If you have like those Scorpio vibes, that energy about you, you know, where you have these deep feelings, but you're just not discussing them. You're keeping them to yourself. And so as a child, that would give you depression. Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay. With the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so with this Three of Pentacles, I'm getting like, this is like your siblings. Like maybe, you know, you had other siblings, but it just seems like you were the sensitive one of the group. You know, maybe you were the sensitive child, and the other siblings were like more loud and outspoken, and, you know, they'd probably say something mean or something like that, and you really felt it. You really took things to heart, you know? You're somebody that would just take things to heart. I feel like maybe like your siblings would say something and you'd cry or feel, you know, sad about it. And then they would say, well, you were just doing it for attention. You were just, you know, being sad for attention. Like they'd say like, oh, you just want attention. Like they were more harsh. They didn't understand at the level of depth that you understood, you know, like they didn't have that. They could have been older, but they still didn't have the depth of feelings that you had. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so we have the Tower in the reverse. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Three of Wands. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I do get kind of like the feeling like maybe you were bullied, or you were just, you know, like you were just treated like you were just too sensitive, like you were a crybaby, like, you know, like I said, maybe people said, oh, you're just being that way for attention. Yeah, you know, it's like I feel like you've been hurt, you've been backstabbed, you've been, you know, you've been just lied to also by friends. You know, I just get like maybe adolescence was hard for you, you know. It was just a challenging time for you. Things were hard, and it's, I don't know, I feel like you stood out, but like, you know, I wouldn't say in a wrong way, but in a way that people would point at you and say something to you, you know. And again, now you're you know, you have the fashion icon card here, and like I said, you could be somebody that maybe dyes your hair a certain color, or you look a certain way, or you have tattoos, or you do makeup beautifully, or something about you that stands out like that in a really, like, you know, eye-catching positive way, as to where before you were eye-catching to people, but maybe it was like in a negative way, where they'd be like, look at those shoes, or, you know, kids, you know, could probably say things to you like that that made you feel depressed and made you feel sad. And so And so your inner child's just kind of wanting you to see that, you know, like you give yourself more confidence, not like you have a boost of it, but you also need to give yourself like some of that like inner love, you know, like to heal that inner child. Because even though right now you could look put together, there's still that inner child that's still hurt and has their feelings hurt over the things I'm gonna cough, see again, over the things that were said to them, over the things that were done to them. And with this patience here, and you know, with the sacral chakra, so you could need to have patience with yourself too in achieving certain goals or things, or maybe you're something you're trying to do, or maybe you're trying to like maybe you're trying to do something, you're trying to do something in like in your career to advance yourself. Maybe, you know, like let's say you do hair, maybe you're trying to like get more clients or something like that, and you feel like you're not doing it. And with this patience here, it's like saying, you know, like you got this, like you can give yourself more love, even though you know how to do hair and you're good at it and all that, but you're like, why don't I have clients, like that many clients, you know? So you're being told that you need to give yourself some love, and like it's okay, it's okay, you know, like you're gonna get there. Just be more patient and more loving with yourself. Well, my throat's really wanting to close up now. Like don't get down on yourself, don't get depressed if even like relationships don't work out for you, because then you kind of start to have self-doubt about like, am I good enough? Am I that child? Am I still that child who's gonna get made fun of? Am I still gonna have am I still gonna be that child who has on the wrong shoes? You know what I mean? It's like when you see that things aren't progressing for you fast enough, or they're not happening for you, that's when you start to get down on yourself, and your inner child's telling you, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, you've already come a long way, baby. You've come a long way from that child that you were. You've come a long way to bring yourself, you know, to where you're at, but you still need to be patient. And even though you're trying to go further, you need to have some patience with yourself to get there. Don't go back and retreat to those wounds, to, you know, to that inner child that was wounded with all these negative things or comments that you know, basically weakened you, you know, because you've now have strength and you've made progress. So it's like, don't go back, you know. But let's get some more cards here for you. Okay. Carrot. Someone will gossip all your secrets. See, there we go again with that. You know, again, you feeling so sensitive about, you know, maybe people talking about you or saying comments to you or saying things behind your back. You have cat, a two-faced friend. Okay. Okay, so now you might be at the realization knowing that you have fake people around you, fake love around you, fake friends around you, and you don't need that. You honestly don't need that, because you're worth so much more. Like, are these friends, you know, are they uplifting you? And if they're not, then you don't need them. Then they're not really your friends. If they're people that are talking behind your back, they're being two-faced and they're gossiping about you, it's basically almost like the same bullies from childhood, you know. So why would you even be around that? You need to get away from that. You have shark. Take care, or there will be loss of material wealth. Wow. Okay. Camel. Persevere and you will overcome problems. Look at that. You got the camel with persevere, because, you know, it's like you're feeling like you're going through those same cycles, you know, but again, you've changed so much. You've brought yourself out from so many challenges, you know, and you're so different now. With this shark here, take care, there will be loss of material wealth. You know, the shark medicine also talks about feeling the energies and the vibrations of people around you, of what their intentions are. So because you've always been this way as a child, you've always been the shark as a child. You've always been the shark who can feel things, sense things, and that's why you've always been more sensitive, even though people might have said, oh, you're just sensitive, or you're just a crybaby, or this or that. No, it's because you intuitively know, like, the energies and the vibrations of people, so you have to be watchful. So with these two-faced people, people gossiping about you, you need to be very watchful of that. You probably need to release them. And again, persevere like the camel to get through this, to get through these problems. Feather. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. Look at that. With the feather, you know, the feather just flies away. So these are people that are basically temporary in your lives, and it's okay if you let them go. It's okay if you don't talk to them anymore, because I mean, if they're talking about you and being insincere and being fake, again, they're just as bad as those bullies from your childhood, how they hurt you, you know. And right now, as strong as you are and the long way that you've come, you don't need this. You really don't, you know. So your inner child's like letting you know, this is what they're trying to show you. This is what they're trying to get you to see. Like, you've come a long way. Let's not go back, you know. Let's keep going forward, and let's drop what is no longer serving us. You know, I feel almost like you, like with the inner child, like you have to have their back. You have to have the inner child's back and protect them and heal them and guide, you know, guide them and all that. But in this pile, I feel like your inner child has you. Like, they got you. Like, they got your back. They're like, you've been healing. Let's keep going. Let's go healing. So it's really beautiful with this pile, because I honestly feel like your inner child has your back. They're like, we're not going back no more. We're going forward. So let's go, you know? So listen to the inner child. You got leg, stepping into a new experience. Look at that. So you are definitely needing to step out of this situation and keep going. Keep going. One foot in front of the other with those legs. One foot in front of the other. Let me get a pog here for you. about the Simpsons pogs. And then I wrote a little message in the back of each one. So let's see. What is your message? Let's get you a pog. This one, okay. So you have Ralph Wiggum. Oh my gosh, you're my Ralphies. Oh, I love Ralph Wiggum. You don't even know. 28, breaks down to a 10. Orally fixated 7-year-old. Look at that. You are these Ralph Wiggums. You are this little 7-year-old. Okay, so let's see. ADHD. What are the strengths of your personality? Look at that. ADHD. What are the strengths of your personality? Okay. So, you know, think about that. What are the strengths of your personality? Because you definitely have them, you know. I mean, you know, people might look at Ralphie and think he's so sensitive and he's just not going to do anything. But you watch. Once you put him to do something, give him a task, he's going to do it. He's going to do it, you know. It doesn't matter. Ralphie's going to do it. He's going to figure it out in his own way with ADHD. He's going to figure it out, but he's going to get it done, you know. So Ralphie, he would seem like he'd be a water sign, wouldn't he? Okay, let me get one more for you. Okay, you got 15. Captain Squid. Tentacular Titan, Superior Squid. Okay. And you got Resentment. What can't you let go that is affecting your life? Wow, good question. Look at that. Captain Squid. What can't you let go that is affecting your life? What can you let go? Because you have made a lot of progress. So what is it that you're still holding on to? Maybe not listening to your intuition. Maybe not being the shark that you've always been born to be, you know? Because all your life you've been this shark. That's why you've been sensitive. That's why you've like felt the energy so strongly from others, you know? You've always been the shark. Oh, wow. My throat's closing up. Okay, so you also have number 40, breaks down to a 4, Santa's Little Helper. The Simpsons Canine Companion. You got Santa's Little Helper with loyal. Who are you loyal to and why? Wow, good question. Because with this cat, this is a two-faced friend. So why are you being loyal? Why are you being so good, giving your loyalty to those friends that aren't really your friends? Wow. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to get one of these messages here for you, and I think that would be it. Okay, you got the wolf, 65. Okay. Be watchful of those you love. Be watchful of those you love. See, you got the wolf because you are, again, somebody very, very much, you know, very wolf pack, very like we stick together, we go through things together, you know, like the dog, also very loyal, very faithful. So you are the wolf, but you also have to be watchful of those that you love and really care about, because you have these people that are just probably talking trash, that aren't serving your life, that they're not good in your life. And again, somebody very undependable, somebody basically very full of shit, you know. So your inner child is just telling you to be the wolf you've always been. Think about who you give your loyalty to and keep working, because you've made a lot of progress, and keep going and don't go back. Don't go backwards, keep going forwards. You know, you're somebody very passionate, so keep going. Okay, well, that's all I have for you. I hope this message resonates, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for those of you who chose pile number 4, this Furby here, he moves his eyes. He's got those crazy eyes. I always like to associate the piles with an element. So for this pile, I've associated with air element. So you could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Okay, so I've associated him with air because, I mean, look at him. His ears and his eyes move, and he just, you know, he looks like he's had a lot of coffee or something. Like his mind's just racing and thinking, very much like an air sign. But let's get into your message and see what your inner child wants you to see. So you have 9, completion. You have 7, frustration. And you have puzzle cube 39, no easy solution. Okay. So right away with the frustration, you know, they're frustrated because this cube can't go inside the circle, right? And with the puzzle cube, look, you can't get the Rubik's Cube, like, the colors all lined up. So basically your mind is constantly going. You definitely are in that air element energy. If you're not an air sign, your mind is constantly going. And so, let's see. It's like your mind is constantly going in different directions to where you can't, it just seems like you can't get it together on doing things, you know? And maybe that's how you were as a child too. Like you just maybe start something and you couldn't finish it. Like you just couldn't finish the process, and you'd go into something else and you couldn't finish that process, and you started all these things that you just couldn't finish, you know, because it was just like, So let's see. Okay, let's pull some. I am feeling with your pile, I started feeling my mind kind of like in a fog, you know, like maybe you as a child always had your head in the clouds, always, you know, your mind was always off somewhere else. You know, maybe in school the teachers had to tell you a lot of times to pay attention because it just seemed like you were distracted, because that's what I'm kind of getting. Like maybe as a child you were always distracted, you couldn't really focus. So with pile 3, they got ADHD, but I'm getting maybe you had that. You know, maybe you had, oh, okay. Maybe you have ADHD, you know. Maybe as a child you couldn't concentrate, you know. Okay. So, okay, we're going to do the 80s deck. I am from the 80s, so I love this deck. So let's get into your reading and see what your inner child wants you to see. I'm also getting that maybe, I don't know why, but not, you know, not all of you, but for some of you, I'm getting that maybe as a child or even now you wore glasses because you couldn't see, and you also couldn't like pay attention, and so you were somebody that wore glasses too, or you probably still wear glasses, but it's like you couldn't see right, you couldn't think right, you were just, your mind was off somewhere where you always had to be told, pay attention, pay attention. Okay, we have the 7 of Cups. Exactly. Pay attention. Your mind. This is very Pisces. You know, Pisces always has their head in the clouds and they live in la la land and all. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I love my Pisces. I'm a Pisces too. So, you know, this is like all the options. 7 of Cups is having all these options, but it's more like options that are not real options, you know, they're more like fantasy type options, and just having your head in the clouds of not knowing what to do because there's so many different options, there's so many different things, like, oh, do I do this, do I do my math, do I do my science experiment, do I do, and it just seems like there's just too much going on, you know. Again, no easy solution with this puzzle cube, so your head was always like, well, what do I do, what do I do, you know. So I'm getting like ADHD vibes. Okay, so you have the Devil, Capricorn. Look at that. You know, this person has their, they have drugs in their hand, but this could have been medication too. So you could have been put on some type of medication to get you to focus, to get you to pay attention, you know. So that could have been something that you've gone through as a child. Maybe you were put on medication to help you focus. What's on the bottom? The Queen of Base in the reverse. And that's the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so we have the 6 of Coins in the reverse. And we have the 10 of Blades in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like as a child you were always feeling like things were never ending, like maybe, you know, whatever frustrations you felt, it's like that frustration ended, but then you went into another frustration because you couldn't figure things out, you know. So it was like one frustration after another, like a never-ending cycle of frustrations for you. But I'm also getting that you're done with that, you know, because you have completion, 9, and then you have the 6 of Coins in the reverse. So like all those things that things that were very like challenging for you, like to multitask, you're able to do it now, you know. So that's one thing your inner child wants you to like take notice of, have an awareness, like, hey, you know how to multitask now. Like you've learned to manage all these things that you couldn't, all the frustrations you had before as a child. you're able to manage them now. Before you couldn't manage them, now you can manage them. You can multitask. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. Look, the mixtapes are Happy Mix, Chill Pill, Fun Mix, Happy Mix 2, and Love Mix. So you see all these tape, all these mixed titles. Definitely you have the Chill Pill, you know, mixtape with the cup here. So yeah, you know, it's like it's you know, maybe childhood was I'm seeing like a hard pill to swallow with the, look, with the devil here, with the drugs, and then this. So it was like childhood was a hard pill to swallow, but you did it, and you actually like you like came out like knowing what to do now. Like now you know how to like take care of things, how to manage things, you know. Let me use another. Okay, we got dog close up. Pleasure with a close friend. Look at that. And yeah, so yeah, to me, this tells me you know how to relax, how to have fun, how to have like your downtime, how to kind of like shut your mind down and not be so like everywhere with your thoughts, but you're more like, okay, I can hang out with my friend and we can sit down and chill and watch a movie, you know, like you're more, that's what I'm saying, you've already kind of like figured out how to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself, you know. You got firecracker, excitement, okay? So yeah, you might be a firecracker, somebody that it still does get very excited about things. But again, you know how to kind of like control them now to where they're not like so many different things all over the place. Hammock, taking the vacation physically or mentally. See, this is you. And you know, your inner child's probably telling you also to just take breaks when you need them. You know, give yourself those mental breaks when you need them too, because you are somebody that needs to take these breaks, because you probably do get overstimulated mentally. You know, you are this firecracker, so things just, whoa, like it's, you know. So again, I am feeling like you probably you know, were somebody very hyper as a child. And at times you probably still get really hypered, but you know how to take care of it. You know how to like be more like toned down, be more in that, you know, Zen zone, you know, to calm yourself. We have scales. Keep your life in balance. Look at that. Exactly. Keep your life in balance. Like you don't want to overdo it on, you know, taking it easy and being zen, but you also don't want to overdo it and just have your mind constantly racing and doing these things that get you frustrated, because you might do a lot of things and then not be even able to finish one at the end, you know. And that's probably how you were as a child. You'd get into all these activities or all these projects, and at the end not be able to finish them. Ooh. Okay, only one came up. Box. You will receive a gift. Look at that box with number 7. You will receive a gift, and I feel like this is something that you earned, something that you worked for. So it's not going to be given to you just, you know, oh, here out of the blue, here's something. No, it's something that has been that's being given to you because they've taken notice that, like, wow, you earned this, you really worked for this, here you go. Stork, news of a birth or a business opportunity. Look at that. So maybe this gift will be a business opportunity, or this news of a birth, you know, or maybe, you know, you're going to find out you're going to have a child or something like that. And maybe your inner, or maybe you already have a child and your inner child wants you to kind of, you know, kind of help the child with whatever, you know, issues that they might have, you know, like you're going to know how to handle the issues. Like if they end up being very hyper, you're going to know how to like help them, like to like get their focus on maybe one thing instead of giving them like a lot of activities or after school or something like that to where they can't focus, you know, just giving them like maybe that one activity that they can get through. So you have desk. Pay attention to your work. See? Pay attention to your work because, yeah, you might be, again, getting all over the place, you know, mentally. You have carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. You might need to take that mental journey, just like with the hammock card, also telling you to do the same thing, go on a mental vacation. With the carriage, you need to be on that mental journey also. Pay attention to your work. And so, yeah, definitely, your inner child's telling you to balance it out, you know. Don't have your mind all over the place, making you crazy. If you need to take a break from work or whatever it is you're doing, go ahead and give yourself a break. You're gonna feel better afterward. Oh, little bug. Okay, so let me get one of these here. They don't want to come out. No. Okay, there we go. So you have 36, breaks down to a 9. Manifestations are coming through. Okay, your manifestations are coming through with this 9. And then you also have the 9 here of completion. So whatever you've been trying to manifest, it's coming through for you. You know, you're definitely going to get it and achieve it again because you've been working hard for it. You're going to receive a gift because, again, you earned it. You worked for it. You put out the work for it. And let's see. Get one of these here. I have these Simpson Pogs, and I wrote a little message on the back of them. So let's see what yours says. Okay. And you have Charles Montgomery Burns. You got Mr. Burns, okay? Number 35, malevolent nuclear power plant overlord. Okay, you have judged. What do you think they say about you behind your back? So do you feel judged? Do you feel like people say things about you behind your back because maybe you do too many things and don't complete them, you know? Or maybe they're saying you don't do your work, like with this desk here. Saying to like pay attention to your work. Maybe people are saying like you don't do your work, or you don't do all the work you're supposed to, or you don't finish it, or you know, something like that. But again, they don't understand how you work, how your mind works, and how it just too many things become too much for you and you need a break, you know. So who else do you have? Kent Brockman, number 1. You got Kent Brockman, local Emmy Award winning anchor. Okay, so what do we have here? You have Shameless. How does it sit with your values of life? Shameless. How does it sit with your values of life? Okay, so is there something you feel shame for, you know? Like, do you feel, because I'm kind of getting that maybe your inner child is seeing you and telling you that you feel bad when you do something and you don't finish it. Like they're saying you shouldn't feel bad, you shouldn't feel shame, because it almost seems like there's things that you do. Maybe you start a process and you don't finish it, you know? So like, and then you feel judged with Mr. Burns. So you have judged and feeling shame for, like, you feel like maybe, you know, like, why can't I do it, or why couldn't I complete it when everybody else completed that task at work? Why couldn't I complete my task? Like, what is wrong with me? And then you start like devaluing yourself, you know, and your inner child's telling you not to do that, because again, your mind works different from everybody else, and you could be, you know, just getting mentally overstimulated, like there's too much, and you need to give yourself a break from that so that you can go back to it and finish what you need to finish, you know? So I got 2 here, so we'll just take them. We have the Skull of Death, number 31. Emblem of youthful defiance. Hypocrisy. What is the worst case scenario in your mind now? Okay, see? What is the worst case scenario in your mind now? Because you probably do that. Because you probably think all these things like, oh my gosh, like you think the worst case scenario, and your mind's just constantly working. It's just constantly going. So you also have Krusty the Clown with 16. Okay, he's the kitty show superstar. Kitty show superstar, okay, with Krusty the Clown. And you got bipolar. How do your mood swings affect you? Look at that. So you got bipolar here. And like I said, I did get like a hyperactive, maybe HDAD type of energy with you as a child. And I did get the devil with these pills, these drugs, this medication. And with the water, you know, so maybe you were on medication, maybe you were diagnosed bipolar, maybe there's something like that. And again, because your mind is different, you do need to be a little more gentle with yourself. You need to be a little more gentle with yourself, and not be so harsh on yourself as why you can't complete the task that everybody else has completed, you know? But let me get one more. I think that'll be it. Okay, you have a Pool, and I cannot say his last name, with number 9. He's the price gouging Quickie Mart proprietor. You got a Pool, okay, with number 9. So you're at a completion here. Number 9, okay, we're at the completion. Self-doubt. How true is it? Your self-doubt. You see that? Your self-doubt. How true is it? Because again, you're judging yourself. You're being harsh on yourself of your worthiness and going, I can't do it. I can't complete the task. Why did everybody finish and I'm not finished? And again, why are you having that self-doubt? And your inner child's trying to show you, like, look, as a child, you were like this. But as an adult now, you know how to work your way around this. You know how to get through this. You know what it is that you need to do. And again, it might need to be on this hammock to take a mental break. It might be that you need to get on this carriage and take this mental journey. Again, you need to give yourself those breaks. You know how to get yourself basically from point A to point B, as to where as a child, you know, you didn't know those steps, and there was a lot of ways you had to go about it and learn and you know, just get the process together. But now it's like, you know how to do it, so don't be so harsh on yourself, on judging yourself, because, you know, I mean, self-doubt, how true is it? Come on, like, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself, you know? Don't do that. And that's what your inner child's telling you. Don't doubt yourself. Come on, you know? Like, don't do that to yourself. Let me get you a therapist card. These are children's cards. I got them for my grandson, but I do like them for doing inner child work. So let's get a message for you from the therapist. Oh, it's already been a long time with this reading, so okay. With everyday challenges, you meet and you gain experience. Look at that. Every day, you're leveling up. Exactly. That's exactly what I was telling you. You're leveling up every day with these challenges. You've gained the experience, and whatever challenges you go through, it gives you the experience to be like, oh, I know how to do that, or I know how to go about taking care of myself in that way. You know, if I'm overworked in my mind, I know that I need to take a break. You know, with these challenges, you gain the experience. So you definitely need to do that, you know? And let's see, anything else? No? Okay, I think that's all I have for you. I hope this message resonates, and I'll talk to you later.